The time is 7:02. Welcome to the Townsend Conservation Commission meeting. It is Wednesday, January 26, 2022. The meeting is now open under the Wetlands Protection Act and the Townsend Wetland Bylaw. And we'll start with roll call. Joan Savoy, present. James Gates, Jennifer Eaton is present, and Jim LaQueer and Ann LaQueer are absent. This meeting is being recorded. Is anyone else recording the meeting? No? Okay. Chairs, additions, and deletions. I'd like to add 3.4 to the work session. That'll be review comments returned from EEA regarding the Campbell Farm CR.
I make a motion that we,
I have one more also. We can bundle them together. And I'd also like to add 4.3, email from Mike Crowley, Land Use Coordinator, reminding that there's an open period for submitting warrant.
so moved.
Second.
Okay. Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Jennifer Eaton in favor. All in favor. Okay. Agents report 1.4. Jessica is going to give her agents report tonight and tell us everything that's been going on.
Exciting stuff.
Jessica.
Hello all. So the last couple of weeks included Martin Luther King Day, but did not do any building permit sign-offs. We did not have any interdepartmental referrals. We had one septic sign-off with the Board of Health for 63 Adams Road. Because of the proposed wetland impacts, we indicated for them to file with Conscom, which they have. I mailed out the right of entry agreement and the approval letter for the residents' tree clearing on conservation land behind 1 Capricorn Lane. Sorry, we have a cat visitor who's very vocal. I've been doing draft revisions to the wetland bylaw and wetland regulations just to help with rewording those a little bit. We did an intake and site visit for the 19 Sono Row Road RDA. Started the compilation of maps of conservation owned land and then drafting and sending out access request letters to access private properties. We mailed out 2 certificates of compliance for the Brookline Road properties and then 1 certificate of compliance for the Warren Road tree planting property. Been working on ongoing efforts for the Townsend Hill Realty Trust CR approval. We sent the final letter of support for the Squanicook Greenways request for Mass Trails grant funding. We have an intake and initial completeness review of the NOI for 63 Adams Road. And that is it.
Thank you, Jessica.
That's enough.
Okay, 1.5, Chair's report. I would like to just update everyone. We did an impromptu site walk, myself, Jessica, Mike Crowley, who is the land use coordinator, and Matt. We walked out to check, take some measurements and talk about future restoration because they're hiring a consultant with the grant money this year. And I would like to say that now that the gate has been installed, it looks so much better down there.
Yay.
So we're excited to report that.
So you're talking Adams Dam?
Adams Dam, yep.
And the gate is locked.
Gate is not locked yet.
Oh.
There was a little miscommunication with the company that provides the lock. They were expecting payment before it was sent out, but when we explained that we're a municipality and it doesn't really work like that, we just had to go through the proper channels. So the lock is on the way, but the good news is that nobody's going in, even though it's not locked. Yes, so I've been checking.
Talk with the fire department because they put a lock on it too.
They put a lock on what?
Oh,
They
yeah.
will. Yeah, they have.
This is
Was
a,
ever a rescue?
Oh,
no, this is a Knox lock. So basically how it works is the fire department knows we had to go through that with the fire department and it's by a code. So the fire department, police, and I believe it's Unitil all have access to that code
oh, good.
in case of any sort of emergency. It's called a Knox lock. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So yeah, that's how that works. 1.6, review and approve the meeting minutes from January 12th. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes?
Yeah. I think there was a minor typo or something.
There was, I certainly did not catch it.
Oh, Matt, section 1.1, I thought that, to help people like me with my kind of brain, if we could put commas between the commissioner's initials, like JS in parentheses, P for present, comma, JE.
Yes, that makes sense.
Thank you.
Make it clear.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
no
it.
problem.
Thanks.
Okay, so can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve meeting minutes from 1/12/22.
I second.
James Gates, are you in favor? Joan Savor, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Jennifer Eaton is in favor. So we're all in favor. 2.0, hearings and appointments. We have none this evening. 3.0, work session. We have 3.1, TWB 2022-116, 19 Sonoro Road, an RDA for installation of a new private well within 100-foot buffer bordering wetlands. Okay, we have done a site walk. We went out last Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Jessica?
Do you want to just give us an overview?
Sure. So of course the cat just started meowing again.
We can tune it out.
Like, I don't even know where it is. To my knowledge, that we were told in the field that the adjacent house, the southeastern adjacent house, when they recently did some renovations, they cut off the supply to the private water well there and it was abandoned. Oh my gosh, sorry. And so therefore, house number 19, the subject lot, needs its own private well supply. So they are going to install a well there in the front yard. It's approximately 75 feet from the edge of the Vinton Pond, a wetland. But in order to allow for the proper Title V and everything else setbacks from other private wells and septics, that's really the only feasible location for that proposed well to go. And Pat or Rob, if I'm missing anything, feel free to chime in as well here.
Nope, this is Patrick Burke at Police Associates, the engineer. Pretty much in a nutshell, that's it.
Sweet.
Thank you. James, did you have any questions? I know that you weren't on that site walk. Okay,
It was windy. Oh,
yeah.
It was more of a site huddle, not a site walk.
Yeah, it was a site shiver.
No, erosion control is all on the plans, right?
It is. Okay.
so do we have to vote?
So yeah, so in the RDA request, oh my gosh, go away. In the RDA request, we're looking for confirmation of the wetland boundary delineation, which just given the topography of the pond's edge, looked good. And then confirmation that your determination of the work, if it is subject to jurisdiction of the WPA.
You're good with everything, Jessica, correct?
I'm good. Yeah.
And there's nothing, you know, that like James said, the erosion control is on the plan, and there's nothing else that would need to be mitigated for
Right.
the,
Yeah. There are no other feasible alternatives. It's a small well, what is it, like 6 inches, Patrick, maybe?
Yeah, they'd be drilling down there and they can work on the other side of those straw wattles on the upland areas. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much the only place we could put the well. We tried to
Right.
keep the separation from the septic stand as far as we could from the wetland resource areas too.
Sure. Yeah, so guys, I mean, it's a permanent feature, a permanent alteration inside of a wetland buffer resource. But it's 75 feet away from the boundary of the wetland, and there are no other feasible alternatives.
yeah, I'm waiting for a motion.
Motion to approve the work to be done at 19 Sauna Road.
Second,
Okay,
So, sorry, quick modification to that motion, because we're issuing a determination of applicability. You
we
need
would
to
do a -3.
-3. There you go. And then if you want any special conditions or anything, please note those.
Nothing we can do.
Yeah.
I think we had, okay. Okay, so motion to issue, to grant -3 determination.
I motion to issue negative determination on 19 Sauna Road.
second,
Okay. James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
yes,
And Jennifer Eaton is in favor, so it is unanimous. Okay,
Excellent. All right, so guys, I will process that paperwork on Friday. I'll formalize it, and then next week I'll obtain the commission signatures. And then I will mail the hard copy original out to Rob. And then I'll also just send a PDF scan as well. So probably by the end of next week, we'll have all that done.
Thank you
Great.
very much.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
All right, thanks. Free to go. Have a good one.
Thank you.
okay, great. Have to get in there and sign that. Okay. 3.2, approve comments for Campbell Farm referral form to submit to the planning board. So this is for what comments we would like to send. This is separate from the comments that came to us. These are comments that we're giving to the planning board for their hearing for Campbell Farm is coming to them for a certificate of occupancy. So they're asking us for comments that we would like to add to the referral. Do you have any comments?
What's the status of the fire pond? What's the status, it's outside our jurisdiction, but what's the status of their stormwater management plan?
good questions, James. Thank you.
They shouldn't, you know, if there isn't fire protection up there.
That is outside our jurisdiction, but it is an incredible, oh,
The fire pond was us.
Right, but we're allowed to make that comment
But
regardless.
The stormwater management plan, we're not. I know Jessica's the one that's part of that, but you know, yeah, what's their plan?
Jessica, do you have anything to add to the comments as far as stormwater management moving forward with the fire pond?
Well, that would,
I'm sorry, not with the fire pond. That's,
well, no, perfect that you mentioned that though. That's really my only comment is that the certificates of occupancy are also contingent upon, obviously, are contingent upon fire safety. And that fire pond is what is supposed to be serving those houses. So we're still waiting for the applicant to send us a schedule of completion for that fire pond. So, I mean, I guess my comments are that they still need the fire pond to be completed prior to giving occupancy.
Absolutely.
As far as the CR goes, which I know is the ultimate question, I think really that's up to you guys if you need to keep that CR on track prior to the rest of that development moving forward. But at the same time, it seems like the CR is coming to a close here pretty soon.
Yes. And do you have any comment on stormwater management?
No.
Okay.
So Jessica, just to be clear, please, that it is not certified that the fire pond is in the condition it's supposed to be in at this time?
I don't think it does.
No, I don't think they've done anything. Stuck out.
So the
Well,
road,
it's outside our,
right, but the road being paved is part of,
that's not us.
right, but we can still make that comment.
I don't feel that it's our place to, but just the stormwater management. You know, what's the status of it?
Okay.
Does it need to be completed prior to?
Yeah, it does then, okay.
The
So-
fire pond right there is-
Yeah.
That's us. And it needs to be completed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as far as, conservation restriction goes up there, it's moving. I don't think you should hold up, occupancy on the CR.
No,
Because
but
it is moving forward.
but on fire safety, yes, I totally agree. Okay, so you want to send 2 comments? We strongly suggest in place a stormwater management plan and a functioning fire pond for
And
public
the
safety.
certificate of compliance has to be complete for the fire pond. Is that the right verbiage, Jessica?
Or
That's fine.
just the fire pond needs to be complete, period,
Okay.
first and
All right.
foremost.
Okay,
Functioning.
it needs to be
Yeah.
complete and functioning.
Or at least functioning, and then, because you're not gonna, you can dormant seed right now
Yeah,
and then inspect it, but I think,
so it needs to
again,
be
functioning,
functioning. That's fair, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. And is not the stormwater, that's like,
That's planning
that,
board,
but that is Jessica. I mean, that, they have to have a stormwater plan.
They do, yeah, that's just, all the stormwater stuff's been monitored by the planning board.
monitoring, Jessica?
What's that?
You're doing the monitoring of it?
We did a compliance visit back in October. The part of the planning board decision for their stormwater permit included monthly inspections, which they have a consultant doing.
Do you get copies of their visits, of their reports, or?
Those are sent to Beth, to my knowledge, so I don't get them, but I'm sure if you wanted them, I can get a copy.
Again, we're not gonna be the ones that hold up any of that, but, again, I feel that they should have their stormwater close to complete. As
Right,
any construction project,
right,
anywhere else,
Right.
any other person doing it, you do your stormwater first.
Right,
I agree.
okay,
Yeah, I mean, I do know that they have an approved operation and maintenance plan and all in the long-term stormwater plan. But yes, I'm not sure of the status of how far those are and other stormwater infrastructure on the property. But we can have that as our comment.
Okay, So
I motion to send comments to include, fire pond is to be functional. And this, what is the status of this stormwater management?
I second.
okay. Joan Savoy, are you in favor?
Yes.
James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Jennifer Eaton is in favor, so that is unanimous. So we'll send those over to the planning board. 3.3, decide on preferred starting time for 2/23 meeting. Matt,
I just wanted to put this here so I didn't have to email all of you multiple times.
okay,
So I heard multiple people say 4 was okay, but then I heard multiple people say they prefer 7:30. So I think either would work. Just whatever is up to you guys, whatever has the most members present, I guess.
7:30 is the only time I can meet on that day.
okay. What about you? Can you do 7:30? Okay, all right. So
7:30.
7:30.
Cool. No problem.
And that is due to the ZBA having big goings on, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had to push back a public hearing to then. So
And they will be concluded by 7:30.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they'll have to conclude prior to it, right? But
Yeah.
I just think it's good to
it starts
state
at
out loud
5:30, so
why
I'll give them 2 hours.
changing the time.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Matt.
no problem. I'll reach out to TJ.
okay. 4.0 correspondence. We have 4.1, the forest cutting plan and notice of intent from DCR. Has everybody taken a look at this?
And that is for the
This
address.
is for, it doesn't have an address other than it's located on Wallace Hill Road.
And the applicant.
The applicant, the landowner is Robert W. Estes and the state of George Maury.
In that PDF that I sent around,
Yep,
I can't find right now, but on like page 4 or 5, there's a map. So it's right across this, here it is. It's right across the street on page 3. It's right across the street from the intersection of Highland Street and Wallace Hill Road. So it's a large 80-acre parcel, and they are harvesting approximately 10 acres of pine trees from that 80-acre parcel. So I believe this is just DCR's communication and notification to Townsend Conservation Commission that they were
Okay.
going to be harvesting this volume of trees nearby to some wetlands and streams.
And you're okay with it, Jessica?
Well, it already happened, so.
yeah, they're just notifying us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh, right.
it's
Oh,
already started.
oh, started and completed or just started?
I drove.
It doesn't
by.
matter what I think anymore. Yeah, no, they opted to do this for long-term forest management.
Yes.
And actually I don't know the amount, but we just, a few weeks ago, I guess, but I was just notified today that we actually got some proceeds and some revenue from the harvesting.
Okay.
So I think we're trying to get that applied to the WPA general fund.
Thank you.
Nice.
So, but
Okay,
yeah, it was more just an FYI from them to us.
thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, it came in with no cover letter. Am I correct?
Correct. I had no idea what it was. Yeah, but
They harvested 246,000 board feet of white pine.
Yowza.
So over 10 acres, it's a lot.
Yowza.
4.2, Conscom letter of support for the CR on Squanicook Meadows. Matt, is this the letter that you drafted for Mike Crowley?
Yeah, it just stated our decision, December 8th meeting to support the CR on Squanicook.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing more than that. Real quick, did we skip your added 3.4? Am I crazy?
3.4 comments, we have to discuss the CR, I think.
That's right.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just
We'll
making sure.
back up to 3.4. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So Jessica, we need you to share your screen with the comments if you could. Thank you.
Let me pull them up. I am on my laptop, so it's going to be a bit small.
Someone has their hand raised.
It does.
Marty Sanders.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Screen. Am I sharing it? No. Let's try that.
So you can see.
Can you guys see the
Thank
two
you.
documents?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make them pretty small, I think. Okay, so you can just let me know where you guys want to go.
You want me to drive this?
See, I'm sorry. You've read this.
Yeah.
I didn't have access to it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this is the CR for Townsend, the grantor Townsend Realty Trust and the grantee Town of Townsend through the Conservation Commission, 187 North End Road. And this is the most recent version, we have received back from EEA. John Joya is gone and we're now working with Mr. Anderson. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. So, I think, so how about this? So this comment, I don't believe needs anything from us, whatever, on the margin. Would you agree, everybody? All right, and then the additions, that is also pretty straightforward. Purposes, section 1. He did, strike and make some changes there. He took out continued agricultural use and limited uses of the premises consistent with the purposes. I just think he's fine tuning things there. That's my read on it. Thanks, Jessica. So his comments are, where are we? What section?
Still under
Yeah,
purpose.
I got you. So, the amended in book, and his comment there is original, oh, I can't read it. Original decision required conveyance of the,
B to DFG.
could you read it out loud for us, please? Thanks.
Original decision required conveyance of fee to DFG. Amendment specifies conveyance of CR to Concom will satisfy requirements to protect this land. Note the amendment requires conveyance of property owners adjacent parcel to DFG. That has happened.
Okay, so the book was amended, so that's done. Thank you. And then we go down to the next redlining. Portion of the premises is within an area designated by the Natural Heritage Endangered Species Program as priority habitat of rare species. It's also within the ACEC. And I thank Mr. Anderson for adding that. Then
You
here
want me
we,
to read the comments on that?
yes, please.
My edit's trying to make this more about consistency with policy. Report says, I don't think this still is really enough. Inventories are just inventories, and the use of those inventories is directed by policy. This should speak to the policy directly.
All right, he did strike some redundancies there. James, what's your take on this?
Yeah, it's just striking out redundancy.
Yeah.
There's no need to have it in there twice, I think.
Yeah. Okay, all right, Jessica, thanks. If you could scroll to, all right, we're going through the disallowed, the prohibited acts and uses, so nothing in 1, 2, 3, 4. We're to, oh, I have, he made some, again, he's fine to, in my opinion, because I did go over this and mark it up, he's fine tuning. You know, like for instance, you have to include a reference to the conservation restriction and a certificate of the farm conservation plan, you know, if for the agricultural activities. I do have a concern about the agricultural activities.
Am I in the right section? I don't know if I am.
Hang on. Page 4, yep. Oh, wait a minute. Can we go back up, please, to page 4, number 8, Jessica? Yeah, right there. Okay, so this is what I don't understand. The use of the premises for business, other than commercial agricultural is described in section residential or industrial uses, or for more than de minimis commercial recreation. I'd like to know what de minimis commercial recreation is defined as being. So that is a comment I have for Mr. Anderson. I mean, it's minimal, like how do you define that? It's like just your own personal, you can personally recreate there, or your family, or no outside. I'm not concerned.
There are certain activities that are classified as such.
Like what does de minimis commercial recreation mean? Would be my comment there. Yeah, it says too trivial or minor to merit consideration, especially in the law. So I guess that means like very little. If that's standard jargon, you know,
Hiking.
so that sort of thing. I guess it would be something like, you know, what are the hiking signs say? Take out everything you bring in and make sure no one knew you were here, kind of thing. So that's just
Carry in, carry out.
yeah, carry in, carry out. So that's just a question there. And then so Jessica, thanks for to be 1.
Okay.
He's tightening up the language there. No comments except the tightened up language, which I do appreciate what he has he's putting fine points on things. And he's saying that you have to refer to the conservation restriction and the farm conservation plan, which is a very good addition. Interesting. We're at page 5, top of page 5, please, Jessica. Thank you. It's for 10 years. This is effective for 10 years and has to be resubmitted.
That's
Okay.
right.
Top of page 5. Yeah. Yep. Okay, James, do you want to read the comments for B2?
Yeah. These 2 clauses are not sufficiently clear, particularly the third, which I could not figure out how to amend. What does it mean to primarily directly use in a related manner, which is incidental there too? Related to, incidental to what? That was hard to just read. I suggest also replacement of the ag reserve for improved version for the new model.
I'm all with him on
So
that.
this, over here on the right side, this is the model that he's talking about, I think.
Is he typically use
Wholesale
Jessica?
replacement.
Or is that the model that they wanted, that was in?
This is just he said this is the model conservation restriction.
Yeah,
So NHESP and DEP, for instance, use different models. And just because something is in a model doesn't mean you have to use it. You
Yeah.
can call the model. So Mr. Anderson, obviously the expert here, and I trust his expertise on that one.
So yeah, it says over here, I think we should suggest wholesale replacement of the ag reserved right with the version from the new model. So I would assume that the Campbell Farm CR is an older version model that they must have amended this section from.
Thank you, very helpful. Okay, so we'll give them, our comments on that would be, go for it.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Can we go back up though? This is B2. I have, okay, we're in agricultural activities. The B1 is the raising and grazing of animals, etc. Okay. Or when primarily, after the semicolon, or when primarily, there are many semicolons, I'm sorry, or when primarily and directly used in a related manner, which is incidental thereto and represents a customary and necessary use in raising such animals and preparing them or the products derived therefrom for market. I would ask Mr. Anderson if preparing agricultural animals for market, if that would, now I know they're not allowed to do anything that requires a slab, but would this mean a mobile slaughterhouse could come in, say, if there were chickens being grown in the existing? So I would want to know the exact activities that's happening now.
That's a broad statement.
It's a very broad statement.
but-
It's a super broad statement. Well, I mean, so this is what I would like to see. And I don't even know if this is possible to do, but so I would like to say, to limit the animal husbandry activities because they do exist now, right? To, how do you say, what is going on there now? Not adding any, so if they're not slaughtering now, we're not going to slaughter down the road if they're not, because I mean, again, this is a conservation restriction. It's about,
Verbiage like no new practices or.
oh,
Agricultural activity.
right, and we're right to farm community. All right, so maybe a giant question mark there, right, for Mr. Anderson
So I mean,
about,
we could like offer to limit animal husbandry, to existing uses only, but again,
Yeah.
that's very vague and
Exactly.
subjective unless we give exact examples.
beautiful, thank you. Thank you.
We'd have to find out exactly what's currently going on there.
But so I think you nailed it, Jessica.
Should we
Thank
want to, maybe we could say like existing permittable or permissible uses?
Yeah.
No?
Yep, good, very nice, thank you.
Again, this is a right to farm community. It's not going on there now. The chances of it happening are slim, but it does happen. You know, there aren't slaughterhouses around. There aren't, facilities to keep animals. There are shortages now. But I don't know if you're vegetarian or not. It doesn't really matter. But people that do eat meat, it's becoming tough, and people want to know where their food is coming from. And that's, one of the things. A mobile slaughterhouse isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for the community. It's not a bad thing because it's only there temporarily and then it's gone. And they take all the stuff with them.
Yeah, that is true on the mobile.
I do.
Good point.
Mobile is good.
Good
I
point,
think.
James, thank you for that.
Even permanent, you never know. You really wouldn't. But to stick with the mobile thing, they can't build anything. They can't have slabs.
Right.
And it's only a couple days a year.
Yeah.
You're not gonna raise enough animals on that farm to have
Right.
someone there every month.
Yeah.
You really aren't. I don't wanna see us get,
Can we get, is it fair to fine tune that in any way then?
We
I mean,
could like propose wording at the end of B1, preparing them or the products derived therefrom for market, like on a temporary or mobile basis.
okay, I bet Mr. Anderson has some idea about how to fine tune verbiage like that. That works for me. Is that fair, James, do you think? Okay,
and
all
again,
right,
the chances of someone going to slaughter animals behind houses like that.
yeah,
I don't
Okay.
see something like that. If people wanna have animals slaughtered, they bring them someplace, or they do it at a large farm. where
Right.
There's no one besides people that live on the farm.
right. Like where you take your deer that you hunted to be dressed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, kind of, like at our farm, we've done cows there, but
Mhm.
we don't have houses in them.
Yeah,
So, then they get sent off to be dressed.
right.
So I don't wanna see us,
But a permanent, so again, this is a conservation restriction that was given, that the idea is that they were given the right to build those 5 houses across the way in exchange, because, and this has to be conserved. So if a permanent facility goes in, now you've got waste management issues and all kinds of environmental things. So,
Propose like temporary or seasonal.
oh, that's nice.
it couldn't be permanent.
Yeah. Okay, temporary. I like your verbiage, temporary, seasonal. That's fair, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Thanks. Nice job.
All right, so just from my reference, like, oh geez, hold on. Oh my
That was on your keyboard.
God. Oh man, hold on. Sorry.
All right.
All right, so here, let me. So this is what I'm gonna propose. Like that?
Yes, I think that's good.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Thanks.
All right. Okay.
So, okay, so that's the animals. I don't think with I love some of this verbiage is just so beautiful, fruits, vegetables, berries, nuts, mushrooms, and other foods for human feed for animals, flowers, trees, nursery or greenhouse products, ornamental plants. So I don't think that needs any fine tuning. I mean, preparing them for market too, but that's a very different thing,
yeah.
right? Okay. Now, number 3, though, I do have a question. So if we're going to get into a maple syrup production here,
That's
my
where I was
question
going.
would be, are they going to install an RO?
I think that the guy down the street is doing, who kept those trees though.
Mm-hmm. So they're selling him
That's an assumption.
yeah. So maybe, but somebody, if you're really doing, I mean, the other thing is, you're not getting that much syrup around here these days anymore. But an RO, a big RO is very different from a small RO. If for anybody that doesn't know, an RO is a reverse osmosis machine, which removes the water from the sap, so you don't have to boil it as long, and it saves you a lot of boiling
I
time.
interrupted you when you started to explain the RO. What is the process what part of that process are you concerned about?
A permanent RO. Permanent RO would be piped,
Oh, yeah.
water, the whole thing. So, but they have like portable ROs, which is very different than a permanent RO. But I think we need to address that there shall be no permanent ROs. I mean, if you go in a big operation, you see the ROs are just like take up the whole room, But I think it's a thing. It's a thing. But again, how much sap are we getting in this area? Not a lot.
No. We do 150 taps on.
Right.
Much.
Yeah, right.
So the construction, maintenance, repair, replacement, and use of temporary structures, that I think would be
Sufficient. That would cover it.
That's how I would.
Yeah.
interpret it.
Shall not include any structure with a permanent foundation such as a concrete slab. Maybe we add in there piped in water, plumbed
I think
water
there's something in the
Installation
bylaws.
of,
I think the reason, and I think I shared the email that Dana Roberts had asked Tom Anderson about the maple syrup production, and Tom's response was that is particularly why he put in this language right here.
Okay.
It's a small structure.
I don't know if that helps anything, but I'm sure you could add in a little bit more clarification too.
Well, if Tom is privy to that information, I would just, I don't know, maybe it's not a thing. I mean, I guess because of the other verbiage, there's no way they're gonna be able to put in permanent RO structures, facilities.
You don't have the sugar bushes. in
Right.
that big outfit, yeah.
Exactly. It's not like, and we're just getting
Not like
warmer and warmer. So, all right,
North
never mind. Okay, thank you.
Accepted.
Thank you.
I think the sugar houses with the ROs the size of this room.
Yeah, I know,
I
I know.
believe
Yeah, I
it.
ditto. Ours was that big, up in Vermont. Okay, so no such structure shall be used for residential purposes. I thank Mr. Anderson for adding that. In item, the very end of item 3, small three eyes there, 3. You want to scroll to the next comments, Jessica, please?
Is this under NHESP?
Yeah, I believe so.
So the vegetation management, I'd like to see something in there that they follow national heritage. As well.
Well, I may have spoken too quickly. Jessica, isn't this under NHESP?
I don't know.
So that's a question, James.
I know, and I probably should know. I've read this before, but.
Do you want me to ask a question in here or provide
matter.
some wording?
Reading it better.
Well,
Let's see what's forward.
yeah, I'm sure he's got the right verbiage on that. That's my guess. So if we go to number 4, wait a minute, no, so we have some strikeouts, which I think are good.
Yeah.
Jessica, if you scroll down to 6, he added about the archaeological activities. That was good. That if you're gonna, dig for lost Roman coins, you have to let us know.
So a portion of the premises is within an area designated by national heritage.
Yes.
So I would like to see under the vegetation management that they follow that.
He does say that on here on the second page.
For the vegetation
A
management.
portion of the premises is within an
Right.
area designated by the Natural Heritage Endangered Species Program as priority habitats of rare species.
So, but under the vegetation management
Mhm.
section, I feel that it'd be best if it stated that areas that lie within that area are the best management practices that are outlined from NHESP is
Nice.
because they are somewhat different. They're similar but different.
Jessica?
Yeah,
Did you catch that?
no.
I'm sorry.
I'm having a bit of a hard time hearing James tonight. I'm getting some of it though.
I think you have to face the owl.
So the section under vegetation management, what was it, page 5?
Got it.
Yes.
5 and 6. So a portion of this is under national heritage. And I feel that there should be a line that the area within the national heritage area should be managed under the NHESP best management practices. Or worded something similar.
Whatever it is, habitat. Should have veg management.
Follow NHESP's maintenance
Best management practice.
practice yeah. I don't know, I'm getting out of trouble about.
I can tweak the wording a little bit, but okay. So we got the gist. Got it. Okay.
All right, so more strikeouts. I went through that. That's where are we? What page? Five. Well, like, yeah, strikeouts. So a lot of this is just kind of, it's not substantive. Number 7, observe, he changed the size of the trails from not to exceed 10 feet from 15 feet. I'm all for that.
I think that's good.
Yeah,
Fewer people driving through there.
right. I think page 7 is oh, he struck 12. The last item on page 7, number 12. I'm sorry, James.
Are you jumping ahead at all? Was there anything else you saw that?
No, because there's nothing on the top of page 7 he even struck out or addressed,
No, okay.
unless you see a comment, on the edge.
Yeah.
The irrigation purposes in support of agricultural activities, he did add that. So the wells are for irrigation purposes in support of agricultural activities only, I would assume,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
okay, so that was good. Okay, he did that. So if we go to page 8, please, Jessica. The strikeouts in the comments get pretty thin through here. There's actually nothing on page 8 of note, though, is notice and approval C at the bottom. We have to have 60 days. We get 60-day notice. Page 8, please, the bottom of page 8. Yep, that paragraph. We get 60-day notice prior to them undertaking any activity that's in question. And this is about monitoring effectively, which was a question mark I had. And here it is. It explains the monitoring. And the access is in section 4, access. For the purpose of inspecting the premises to determine compliance with or to enforce this conservation restriction, we have the right, the CONSCOM has the right to, with permission to go on the premises.
That's good.
Yeah. That's it for 9, 8. 9, he didn't change a thing. Any comments? No, okay. 10, ditto. 11, ditto. 12, nothing. 13, nothing. I think from here on out, there are no changes. Yeah, now he just made a few on page 14 on the signature pages. He just made a few. There were a lot of kind of floating around hithertos and there any wells and days of yore and stuff, and
Yeah.
they took that out.
Because I noticed he said something about the new model, so they must have updated their model since this
Right.
was.
Originally ascribed.
I
Yeah.
think so.
And that's it. That's all I got.
So I will need to go through and I saw it earlier, update the CONSCOM members here. But yeah,
Yep.
otherwise, I believe Mr. Roberts would be primarily responsible for obtaining these signatures and notarizing and all that and recording everything. So cool.
Great. Anybody else?
All right, so I will, I know I didn't track a couple of the comments back at the beginning. Sorry, I'm probably making you guys dizzy, so I'll stop, but I'll update those comments. And then I'm going to send them to Dana first for his review. If he's okay with our additions or questions, then I will forward this back to EEA. If he has questions about our questions, I'll let you guys know and we can proceed as needed.
Beautiful.
But otherwise, I'll stop my share.
Bless your heart. Thanks, Jessica. So Madam Chair, should we then put on for the next agenda that we approve the changes Jessica we are, wait a minute, should we vote now that we approve Jessica to make these changes and forward them to Mr.
Yep.
Williams? Okay.
Because we don't want to push it off till the next.
I
one.
make a motion that we approve the discussed changes to the CR and as stated.
I second that.
Okay, James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Joan Savor, are you in favor?
Yes.
Jennifer Eaton is in favor, so that is unanimous to approve the changes. Phew, okay, great.
Done with
Thanks,
that.
Joan.
Yeah, you're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Thank you,
lot.
Matt, for keeping us in line.
Yeah, Matt, you did good.
You look puzzled.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. Oh, for
Yeah, you
bringing
told
it
us
back
to-
to it. Oh,
Told
yeah,
us to
yeah.
pump the brakes.
Yeah,
I think
no
I would have
problem.
totally forgotten about it, so.
That wasn't intentional, I promise. Okay, so that brings us to 5.0.
4.3, Mr. Crowley's letter.
Oh yeah, 4.3, Mr. Crowley's letter.
I will now read Mr. Crowley's letter. Mr. Crowley being our wonderful new land use coordinator. And this is a reminder for warrant articles. And he writes, howdy folks, just a reminder, FYI, the current warrant article period is open now until March 1st. Anything that needs to go through a committee or review prior to the March 1st deadline has a limited window. Here are the scheduled dates of the committee meetings between now and March 1st. Conservation is 1/26, 2/9, and 2/23. Planning is 2/14 and 2/28. ZBA is 2/2 and 2/23. And he is offering for people to approach him if they'd like to coordinate with him. And having submitted a warrant article myself once in the past, the sooner you get the thing out there for people's approval, the better, because it has to slog through all kinds of eyes. That's that. Sure.
Okay, great. 5.0, education and conferences. 5.1, invasive species management.
Yes, so I reached out to MACC and as we have heard mentioned in our classes that you can request for instance, in a order of conditions that invasive species management be conducted, maintained, whatever. And she said the information on that is in section 105, and that was the one class I had taken so many classes in a row. I just bailed on 105. I don't know if anyone's taken 105 yet, but so we may not have the handbook on it, but we can look it up in our electronic handbook. But I did ask her for specific verbiage. You know, I figured they'd have like some kind of like specific verbiage somebody's thrown into an order of conditions, and she did not have it, which surprised me. But so there we are. So we'll keep tracking down some specific verbiage.
For invasive species.
Yeah, for instance, let's say maybe we've got a housing development and they're bringing in all kinds of fill and everything. And now all the loam's got all the invasive species in it. I mean, it's all over my house. And so you can stipulate in your order of conditions that there's a process for making sure the invasive species are curtailed, first noticed and then curtailed or whatever, you know? Which is-
Jessica, did you get the email that I forwarded to you? I got it kind of last minute from Joan Watkowitz.
I did see it, but I have not had a chance to read it yet.
Okay, so it's basically, and I'll make sure everybody gets a copy of this, something that we might want to look into just regarding invasive species. We have a trail down at Adams Dam where when you sort of come to the end and you're right in front of the bridge, there's a part that goes off to the right and loops around. And it is unusable because it is filled in with Japanese barberry. And you can't go through there. Well, I've gone through there many times, but you get torn up by the thorns. And I was mentioning it to Joan, and she sent me this email, forwarded it from Al Futterman, talking about the NRWA, National River Watershed Association, partnered with the Merrimack River Watershed Council to do a landscape scale restoration project. It's a riparian vegetated buffer project that would manage that area.
That particular area?
Yeah, it qualifies. Yeah, so she was uncertain if this was something that might help us with that project. So if you want to take a look at that, Jessica, we can just sort of, you know, familiarize ourselves with it.
Do we have to apply for anything?
I mean, I can find out more if it's something that Jessica thinks that we would be eligible for. It does say
So we
by
have to
one.
Give them permission to go there and do X, Y, and Z.
She said it was last minute, and it does say reply by 1:20, but maybe we could still get in there. And this just came tonight, so 26, yeah.
You want to get with Joan? Want me to, you or me get
Yeah,
together?
if we're interested, I will find out more of the details as far as deadlines and,
We're interested, right? Yeah, okay.
okay, great. Okay,
I would assume that if in his original email, he asked for it by the 20th and they were still forwarding around on the 26th, that they probably don't have enough interest yet. That would be my guess.
What about, hey, will they look at, what is that stuff that I see in my dreams?
barberry, no, I'm sorry, knotweed, Japanese knotweed.
Knotweed.
Because we have-
Because there's also multiflora rosa.
Yeah, right,
which is prickers.
right.
Yeah. But
Okay,
that's
so
something we
we'll
can
get
look
more
into.
information.
Yeah, this was just sort of like, oh.
Boy, that'd be great if we could stick them on all of our invasives. That'd be awesome.
It would.
Okay.
Okay, so 5.2, Fundamentals Unit 102, Overview of Wetlands Protection Act. Matt, I assume you put that on here because that is a class that's coming up?
I attended it yesterday, actually. I wasn't sure if
great.
anyone else did. And I wanted to bring up that in March, they're doing a lot of other fundamental classes too.
Oh,
So
good,
if you
because I'm
need-
missing one.
Right.
Yeah, you can probably find it in March. So
Great, thank you.
look at their website.
I think it's like March. Hold on. It's
Yeah,
like
I think
another
the
one of
whole- the
those
whole
weeks.
month.
I think it's like the 7th through the 11th that week. They're
Right.
doing all 8 or all whatever number
Oh, yeah.
fundamentals.
Yeah, that was a fun week.
105. I'll make sure if they offer 10. Oh, I didn't see
Well,
105.
ironically, I think 105 is like the one they
It is
don't.
not being offered. You're right.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You
It's
checked
like
that
the
out.
only one.
Writing the effective orders of condition. No, it is actually, I guess while we're talking about that, it's a couple months away, but it is the week of March 7th. Because I know they have a fundamentals something on that Wednesday, which is also one of our scheduled meetings. So as we get closer, maybe we can try to push that one to 4 p.m. or something, because those classes are 6 to 8:30 p.m.
Right. Certainly. And then I guess just Jen and I just need one more class to be certified.
Yep.
Which is exciting.
I think I have 2 left, so We're almost
James,
there.
you're-
I'll get
you're
it this time.
there.
They only have a bunch.
Yeah, James has one or two, so we're a knowledgeable bunch.
We got it. So yeah,
Cool,
once I
thanks
get
for
the formal schedule for those, I'll send that out and then we can adjust our meeting schedule if needed.
Oh, and then we have to, okay, so what we'll have to do is, since I'm the one that handles this, is we'll have to get, everybody will have to figure out what they're gonna take beforehand, so I can submit it to the, well beforehand. So hopefully, so I can submit it to the treasurer, so they get, to the accountant, so they get paid. And then we can take the classes, because they're looking to get paid first.
So 6.0, items for discussion at next meeting. Everybody will take a look and we'll find out as much as we can about this riparian vegetated buffer project. And we are gonna vote to pay for MACC fundamentals classes also.
Yeah, that's good.
And
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be discussing a newly returned CR by then, maybe. If we get that submitted, we may have, I don't know if they would have it back. What's,
February 14th is the hearing.
okay. Well, wishful thinking.
And then, pretty minor, but I think Matt and I will have some clothing receipts for your approval at the next meeting as well.
Well, we've got the cat. Can we see
Oh my
Ethan?
gosh, are you seeing this?
Is
This is
Ethan,
scary.
did Ethan go to bed already?
He did go to bed, yes. Thank
Oh.
goodness. A toddler go to bed now. This one's desperate.
I remember my cat like that once my daughter was born, desperate for attention.
Yes.
Okay, so our next meeting will be Wednesday, February 9th, 2022 at 7 PM in the BOS chambers.
Is that the 7:30 PM?
No,
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 7:30 PM, please?
that would be 223.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And it will also be held via virtual Zoom in accordance with the COVID-19 safe meeting guidelines.
We will have a public hearing at the next meeting, just a heads up for an NOI.
Okay. Great.
For the NOI for Adams Road?
Yes, yep,
Thank
and I'll send you guys an email on Friday, but we are gonna be doing a site visit there next Wednesday.
Items for discussion.
Okay.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn at 8:12 PM?
So be it.
So be it, second.
Jones for, are you in favor of adjournment?
Yes.
James Gates, are you in
Yes.
favor of adjournment? And Jennifer Eaton is in favor of adjournment, which makes it unanimous.
Jessica,
Meeting is
thanks for
adjourned
this.
at 8:12 PM.